Welcome back everybody. You're tuning in to howtoplaystock.com. My name is Casey. Today is December 13th, 2017. In today's video, I wanted to talk about whether or not Bitcoin is in a bubble, or the crypto market for that matter, okay? And the reason why I'm shooting this video is because I have got some things I want to talk about as far as my thoughts on the crypto market, where it's headed, where it might go here in the next month or two. So, getting started, yesterday was December 12th, and Litecoin, when I woke up in the morning, Litecoin was at $300 and in between $76 and $367. So it was fluctuating a little between there. But the day before, I'd invested in Litecoin, okay, and you know, it was a huge move. All right, made some pretty good profits on my trade there. Obviously, it was up $190 for myself. All right, so I made some excellent profits on that. But I decided, you know, take my money, and from there I took my profits. All right, I took all my profits off the table. I got out of the crypto market completely, except for, you know, a few $100 here and there in Bitcoin that I've got in a different account that's earning interest for me. If you want to know more about that, go ahead and, you know, leave your comments in the comments section, and I'll try to respond back to you on that. I've got a couple of videos where I show you exactly where I go to earn interest and get paid in Bitcoin for the Bitcoin that I still hold. So, but, you know, it got me thinking, after I pulled my money off the table like that, you know, we were at all-time highs with Litecoin. All right, Bitcoin wasn't doing a whole lot, but as of today, Litecoin is taking a dump. I mean, it's going downwards. Right now it's at about $334. All right, so it's dropped a significant amount, and you know, when I took my money off the table at those higher profits, yeah, I got a lot of people asking me if they should invest in cryptos, which I think is kind of ironic, because a lot of people will only start paying attention to an asset when it starts rising in price. And by the time they jump in, it's usually, you know, the party's over because things are coming down. As you can see with Litecoin, if you were somebody who was wanting to get involved with Litecoin, you'd be buying at, you know, all-time high prices, and that's probably not a good idea. So if you're somebody who is looking at getting into cryptos right now, I would say just wait for a pullback, because with these assets, they're so volatile. And I mean, they can go up and down. You know, Bitcoin went up to like $19,000 last week, and if you check it today, it's like sitting around 16,900 to 17,000, depending on the exchange that you're looking at. So it dropped significantly, and the same with Litecoin. So if you're looking at getting in right now, I would probably say wait for a pullback of at least, I'd say 20%, 10% at the minimum. All right. So is Bitcoin in a bubble? That's the big question. Is Bitcoin in a bubble? Well, according to like market cap and the amount of investors that are already holding Bitcoin right now, I would say no. You know, if it makes up 10% of the volume of trades taking place on a daily basis on the foreign exchange, then you could probably say it's hit a maximum as far as being in a bubble. And from there, the price should start stabilizing, from what I'm hearing from a lot of the analysts. But we're not there yet, because that would put the price of Bitcoin at around probably about $170,000 to $176,000. All right, so we're nowhere near that. But it's dangerous when you start investing with a high amount of money, you know, in Bitcoin right now, because it's so volatile. Like I was saying, I mean, last week it went 19,000. This week it's at 16,900. So if you got in at the top, you would have lost a significant amount of money. And the problem is trying to keep your emotions in check so that you're not selling when you get these big drops like that, because you're going to lose a ton of money, and really fast too, because these drops are not they're not slow. All right. So it got me thinking though, because I watched a couple documentaries just recently on the Tulip Mania and the 1929 crash, or the Great Depression, and what caused that. And it's kind of eerie when you start watching them, the documentaries, and you know, learning how all that happened and came about, because there's a lot of similarities between Bitcoin and what's going on with the euphoria right now, with everybody just, hey, I'm going to throw my money in, I'm not even going to pay attention to it, just sit it and forget it, and then become rich. And everybody is assuming that that's what's going to happen. All right, and that's the euphoria effect that caused the tulip mania, as well as, you know, leading up to the Great Depression. All right, with 1929, the stock market crash. So it's really eerily similar in regards to what's happening with Bitcoin right now. So I would recommend, if you got a little free time, go back and watch some documentaries on those, because, you know, once you get done watching those, you're just going, oh my God, you know, this is the same thing is happening with Bitcoin, and the bubble, or the price rising as much as it is with Bitcoin right now, far exceeds, you know, as far as returns and the percentage move up, it far exceeds what the stock market did and the tulip mania did. Okay. So then the next thing I started asking myself, you know, before I decided to pull all my profits off the table and put it elsewhere, was, you know, what is my risk? So right now, what is my risk of investing at Litecoin at a price $334? Well, it could drop to $100. It could drop to back down to $67 where I initially bought in. And, you know, that's if you're going to buy in at that price at $334 and it drops that much, which we don't know if it will or not, you're going to lose a ton of money. All right, you're going to get wiped out. And you want to avoid that. So you got to ask yourself, when you're investing in really volatile markets like this, what is my risk? So if you're day trading and you're getting in and out, which I was for a while, all right, actually when I say a while, it was only about 3 or 4 days I was getting in and out of Litecoin and Bitcoin, and I had some Litecoin that I was holding as well from, you know, back in September. But when I was getting in and out of these trades, I started losing a little bit because I was making too many trades. And that's another thing I want to talk to you about with day trading these cryptos, is that the less trades you make, the odds of you losing money goes down. The more trades you make, the risk that I'm talking about here, what is my risk? The odds of me losing money goes up. So I ended up finishing out my day trades over a period of about 3 days. I had 9 wins and 4 losses. So even someone like me can lose, because I mean I've got a lot of research that I've done, a lot of I'd say 3 years of experience day trading so far, and I've always maintained at least the 85 to 90% winning rate. Okay, and I might have dropped a little below that this time with Litecoin. I'd have to go back and do the calculations, but I do lose time to time, but I don't try to lose big. All right, and that's the key, is you do not want to lose big. So my 4 losses were eating into my profits a little bit, but I stopped that because I was making too many trades, and I realized that right away, just based off of my own mistakes I made in the past. So that's a little tip for you there. If you're deciding to day trade, just keep your trades to a minimum. I would say, like, maybe if you're on a roll and you hit 3 or 4 wins in a row in one day, go ahead and stop, take a breather, take a step back, because your emotions start playing into your subconscious mind, and before you know it, you're getting greedy. All right, and that's the next point I want to touch on here with whether or not Bitcoin is in a bubble. Are people greedy? And you know, it's like Warren Buffett says, be fearful when others are greedy, and then be greedy when others are fearful. And right now with Bitcoin, I had to ask myself, are people being greedy with cryptos? All right, and that's right now. The answer to that is yes, they're being greedy. So for me, I was like, you know what? Why am I playing into the herd here? Why am I doing what everybody else is doing? Because people like Warren Buffett, investors, you know, that are making millions upon millions of dollars, usually go against conventional wisdom, all right, which would mean that they're right now they're being fearful instead of greedy. So I think I'm going to take that approach with the crypto market right now until we get a pullback and things start to come down a little bit. I think that probably is going to happen sooner or later, especially with the futures market, that just opened up not too long ago, just a couple days back. And that's a whole nother video, a whole nother topic, but I can tell you this with the futures market, guys, that was created for one purpose and one purpose only, and that was for Wall Street and the big banks. And I can tell you right now, if you think that futures market was created for your own interests, you're sadly mistaken, because the futures market was created for Wall Street's interest, okay? So keep that in mind when you're trading these cryptos, because if they want to, they can bring down the price of Bitcoin and Litecoin, okay? They have the power to do that. They have enough money to do that. So you have to be very, very careful if you're getting into these cryptos and you're planning on playing something short term, all right? And even long term for that matter. But I can tell you the year 2018 for cryptos is supposed to be a good one according to all the analysts. And I think you're better off with a buy and hold approach, which I talked about in my last video. So if you haven't watched that, go back and subscribe to the channel. You can check out that video and try to get a better understanding of my thoughts on that. And it's partially due to my own experiments with the profits I had already made in Bitcoin there. So that's all I wanted to touch on with you today, for Bitcoin. That's all I wanted to touch on. If you like what you're hearing, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. And in the next video, guys, I'm going to create a video on the topic of the exchanges, all right? Because that's another portion to the risk that's involved with investing in cryptos right now. And then I'm also going to break down a comparison between volatility in the markets with cryptos versus something like the cannabis market, all right? So hope you guys are having a good day. And remember, income is the outcome, all right? I'll talk to you later.